Multiple shootings downtown overnight, including at a restaurant near Lucas Oil Stadium. What we're learning tonight from police.
And another chilly night is expected with freeze warnings in place. This may be colder than last night. I'll let you know what the low temperatures will be.
Training camp officially underway for the Indiana Fever coming up in 13 Sports. Hear from Caitlin Clark and how she's overcome those injuries and is now ready to take on year 3.
Tonight, several people are recovering after several shootings in downtown Indianapolis, including one not far from Lucas Oil Stadium. IMPD tells us that shooting on South Street injured 2 people, so we'll show you the scene just after 3:30 a.m. Officers found a man shot at the White Castle. He went to the hospital in critical condition. A short time later, IMPD got a call about another possible victim on Madison Avenue, just a mile further south. That man was also shot and is reported to be stable. IMPD tells 13 News witnesses are cooperating and there is surveillance video. It shows a disturbance at the restaurant that police say could help their investigation. Now, Metro Police are also investigating another shooting downtown overnight. A man walked into IU Health Hospital with gunshot wounds. Officers later discovered he'd actually been shot on Illinois Street, not far from the American Legion Mall. Also, IMPD police reports show 2 shots fired calls right in the heart of downtown. One at the Hilton Hotel on Market Street, another on Monument Circle. Now, nobody hit by gunfire in those cases, but on Monument Circle, the police report shows officers arrested 2 teenagers and confiscated 4 guns, including 2 AR-15 style rifles. If you can help investigators on any of these cases, call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. Tonight, we're also learning about a shooting on the near South Side that it's turned deadly. Someone was shot last night on Pennsylvania Avenue, near Madison and Raymond. Police originally reported the man was awake and breathing before then announcing this morning he was taken to the hospital in critical condition, where he later died. No word yet on a suspect or a motive. Well, now to a tragedy unfolding in Louisiana right now. Police say 8 children were shot and killed in a mass shooting there. Police in Shreveport are calling this a domestic disturbance. It happened earlier today. Officers responded to reports of shots fired and found the bodies of 8 children, ranging in age from 14 to 1. They were in 3 different homes. 2 other people were wounded. Investigators think the suspect, who was shot and killed by police, was related to some of the victims. Shreveport's mayor calling the violence devastating.
We have a hurting community. We have hurting families. We have hurting police officers, coroner's personnel, fire department, sheriff people, and this affects the entire community. So we all mourn with these families.
Police have yet to release any names of the victims or the suspected shooter. Of course, we'll keep you posted on their investigation. Tonight, we are hearing from the wife of radio legend Bob Kevoian. He passed away Friday at the age of 75. Well, his wife Becky shared on social media late last night, thanking everyone for reaching out, saying, quote, "All you guys loved my husband. What a joy that is to me. I wish I could reach out to thank each of you personally, but I see you and I thank you for loving my Bob." 13 News will share memorial plans with you once we learn them.
Well, our forecast for today has really been breezy. It's been cooler. We did see some sunshine earlier, but some clouds have rolled in. Kept our temperatures from getting up much above the mid to upper 50s. There were some 60s that popped up today. The clouds, for the most part, are going to stay with us, and there have been a couple of locations where some of these showers are actually making it to the ground. Most of this is not reaching the ground, but there are a few locations where it's able to overcome that drying process and able to reach the ground. Here's where we're headed for tonight. Low temperatures near 30, unfortunately. A little bit colder than where we were this morning. Most locations were into the mid-30s. I think low 30s are going to be expected for tonight. Because of that, we do have freeze warnings that are in place essentially from the metro and all points to the north. South from there, we do have frost advisories that are going to be in place. So a couple of degrees colder than where we were this morning for tomorrow morning. And then with plenty of sunshine, we should be able to warm up quickly. But yet another day where the temperatures are going to be just a bit cooler than average. We've only got highs in the upper 50s. More 70s are on the way for next week. I'll show you that part of the forecast coming up.
Thanks, Rob. The Indy Ignite will hit the court in just a few minutes in front of a sold-out crowd. This is actually the team's first sellout of the season at the Fishers Event Center. Our Samantha Johnson is there tonight. Sam, sounds like a lot of excitement for the game.
Also check out new additional merchandise.
That's right, Jenny, and that's because we have the #1 team and #2 team in Major League Volleyball facing off here in Fishers this evening. The Indy Ignite hosting the Dallas Pulse. It's a fight for the #1 spot in the league, and you mentioned it, in front of a sold-out crowd tonight inside the Fishers Event Center. So take a look. The girls are out here warming up now. We're less than a half an hour now from the first serve. Check out this crowd as fans start to make their way to the seats here. This is actually a big day at the Fishers Event Center, and that's because there were both IU and Purdue showcases earlier this afternoon. So as fans make their way inside, you'll see a lot of Purdue and IU fans in the house with us tonight. 6,500 fans here to witness this battle in person. The Indy Ignite, by the way, already playoff bound. So even though we are nearing the end of the regular season, this is a team that has already clinched its spot in the playoffs, and really showcasing what it means to be a successful women's sports team here in Indiana. And we have talked to fans of all ages today, many of them little girls, who say watching the Ignite means a lot to them. Some play volleyball, some don't, but they are inspired by what is happening on the court. So you will hear more from them later tonight on 13 News. We'll also have a recap for you, Jenny, the Indy Ignite and the Dallas Pulse. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, love that inspiration. All right, Sam, thanks so much. Well, the season is fast approaching for the Indiana Fever right now, and this morning they held their first training camp. Eli Gain was there, and he's got a look at the team and the return of Caitlin Clark after that injury-riddled season.
Training camp for the Indiana Fever is finally underway ahead of a season that is full of a lot of optimism with this team that was just a game shy of going to the WNBA Finals last season. We know all the injury issues that plagued this Fever team a season ago, and still able to make that run that they did was very impressive. So there's no wonder that this team is going to be expected to be back in that position, if not even further, with all the roster movements that they've made during a pretty dramatic offseason that saw the CBA come to a new agreement, which allowed Aaliyah Boston to become the highest paid player in WNBA history. It saw Kelsey Mitchell sign a Supermax contract as well, but it's also going to be a season where we see Caitlin Clark returning to the floor for year 3. Only played in 13 games last season, dealt with a severe right groin injury, had an ankle bruise that kept her out for a majority of that year. So now she is back. They have the core in place, and with some different pieces around, there's a lot of, again, optimism with this Fever team heading forward, especially with CC running the floor.
I'm the person that doesn't want to sit out a single rep. Like, I want to be in there every single time. Like, I just love competing and I love playing, and none of that has changed, but I think just like being a little bit smarter with my body and understanding what it takes. And I think especially like through camp days, like these days are really long. Like, you're on the court 2.5, 3 hours and putting in a lot of stuff. So, you know, taking care of my body at this point in the season is probably the most important thing.
She does what she does. You know, I think the thing I want to see is I just want to see her play with joy. You know, it was such a hard year. A year ago, when you're going through injury, it's tough. When you're in and out, it's tough. When you're not able to do what you love, it's tough. And so I want to see her play with joy. I want to see her enjoy the opportunity that we have and this team that we have, and go out and do what she does best.
So the Fever will have training camp the rest of this week. Then they will have their first preseason game of the season on Saturday when they travel to New York to take on the Liberty. At Gainbridge Fieldhouse for 13 Sports, I'm Eli Gain.
All right, thank you, Eli. Hey, we're looking at a cold start to tomorrow. We've got freeze warnings in place. I'll talk a bit more about that. Tomorrow, temperatures only in the upper 50s. It is a cool start to the week, but the rest of the week, much warmer. That's coming up.
We got to meet a lot of neighbors that we never met before.
Yeah, everyone was coming out trying to see what was going on.
2 homeowners getting some real unexpected company. Why this hot air balloon made a stop in their backyard.